Alright, selamat pagi. Terima kasih telah hadir bersama saya lagi. Saya harap Anda menikmati, enjoying podcast saya hari ini. Bonjour à tous, merci beaucoup d'avoir écouté ici avec moi. Bonjour, merci d'être à nouveau parmi moi. Buenos días, you guys. Gracias por estar aquí conmigo de nuevo. Espero que disfrutes de mi podcast de hoy. Muchas gracias once again por escucharme aquí conmigo. Good morning, you guys. Thank you for being here with me again, Nicky Dare. I hope you will enjoy my podcast again today. All right. Good morning, guys. This is another episode. It's a follow-up from the previous one that we just did a few days ago. It is Leadership in Climate Era, a call for bold action. And if you remember, the title of the last episode was Man-Made Climate Change. Is it a hoax or reality? Right? Hopefully that you had some time to listen to that episode. If it's insightful, let me know. If it's not, then you want to, of course, I respect your opinions and all of these things. All right. Exploring the power of leadership to navigate the realities of man-made climate change. Some of the key takeaways from the previous episode, I just want to highlight on some of that is that, man-made climate change is real. I'm sorry for those of you who have stated otherwise. The evidence is undeniable. And with global scientific consensus pointing to human activities, as we already know, as a significant driver of climate change. So that puts us to the next thing that we need to do is the urgency of action. Delaying action exacerbates risks and issues, obviously, right? Earthly issues, including extreme weather events, resource scarcity, and economic instability. I want to put the politics aside. Obviously, this has been, mixed with the propagandas and things like that. And I'm not interested in talking about that, but I just want to focus on the leadership side of it. So the role of leadership, leaders have a responsibility to acknowledge reality and guide their organizations and communities towards sustainable practices, an ethical way. And really, what boils down to is the personal responsibility, right? In each of us, in each one of us that we hold accountable. Individual actions from reducing waste to advocating for policy changes contribute to the larger fight against climate change in the right way, ethical way, obviously. So from this follow-up episode, I want to call it part 2, strategic sustainable risk. Integrating sustainability into decision-making transforms challenges into opportunities, fostering innovations and also embracing the resilience. Real-world examples of leadership. I want to present this in this episode. That case studies such as California's shift to EV, to electric vehicles, the EU Green Deal, right? And corporate commitments like Apple's carbon neutrality goal highlight successful climate leadership. I mean, I think they're the ones that among the ones that really taking the front running to this climate leadership. Actionable steps for leaders, educating teams, adopting sustainable practices, and as well as advocating for systemic change are key to leading in the climate era. Where do I see that word? Systemic. I think that is from my Kaizen book. Staying true to values. Leadership requires courage, brevity, even if it means facing disagreements. Exactly. Even if it means facing disagreements or losing friends, right? You gotta stay true to values and to what is reality, what is real. Not putting sugarcoat on everything. Authenticity and commitment to a sustainable future builds trust and long-term impact. So I want to invite you to listen to this episode, perhaps for the next only just 20, 25 minutes. Half an hour, you guys. Hopefully that you find this insightful. I do want to hold that global roundtable and then talk more deeper into this conversation and dissect each segment that we have covered so far. Alright, selamat pagi. Terima kasih telah hadir bersama saya lagi. Saya harap Anda menikmati, enjoying podcast saya hari ini. Bonjour à tous, merci beaucoup d'avoir écouté ici avec moi. Bonjour, merci d'être à nouveau parmi moi. Buenos días, you guys. Gracias por estar aquí conmigo de nuevo. Espero que disfrutes de mi podcast de hoy. Muchas gracias once again por escucharme aquí conmigo. Good morning, you guys. Thank you for being here with me again, Nicky Dare. I hope you will enjoy my podcast again today. So the goal is to share and also inspire you guys, other leaders such as yourself, audiences. If you're listening to this, spark insightful discussion and provide valuable insights for you all. All right. So this is a follow-up podcast episode, Climate Leadership in Action, Navigating the Realities of Man-Made Climate Change. Welcome back to Leadership365 with Nicky Dare here, where we explore the bold, essential, and the transformative aspects of leadership in today's world. I am your host, the one and only Nicky Dare. In our last episode, we did discuss the reality of man-made climate change and why acknowledging that challenge is vital. Absolutely. So today we're diving deeper to explore what leadership looks like in the face of this global issue and how sustainability plays a key role in driving actionable solutions. Now, I want to take this into a deeper conversations, obviously, in my global roundtable that's going to be held on Earth Day, which is going to be April 22nd this year. It's always going to be April 22nd. I invite you guys to also become one of the panel speakers if you wish. If you know anybody who is in this, who is already doing it, who is already challenging these global solutions and have something that's really already working effectively, by all means, please do reach out, and we want to hear from you. Reach out to us, to my team. Reach out to us to idarecares.org, and that's who's going to host iDare. Or just visit our roadmap to sustainability.com and contact us. And please, I'm just everywhere, really. The best way to reach out, if you have already contacted them and then you don't get, but anyway, just contact me through my LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I am on with Nicky Dare, linkedin.com, Nicky Dare. Not too difficult to find me there. Just contact me through DM or just through my email. Thank you so much, you guys. And it's really important that we all acknowledge this and be on the same page. All right. So acknowledging the facts and bridging divides. First, let me address the crucial point. I know that these types of conversations about climate change can spark strong reactions. Everybody has opinions. Everyone has their own insights. Everybody has their own views looking at this. For some, it's a call to action. For others, it's a point of skepticism. But leadership isn't about avoiding difficult topics. It's about bridging those divides and providing and offering solutions. My goal is to lead with facts, encourage dialogue. That's why I brought out this platform called Roadmap to Sustainability Global Roundtable. And it is just for that. That was the main goal that I had in my mind when I created that platform. And it started in 2020, right at the beginning of pandemic, by the way, when we're all shut down. The world shut down. And then we were looking at things on the internet and virtually and everything like that, what solutions there is, and trying to figure out what's going on in the world, right? So I created the Global Roundtable Roadmap to Sustainability at that time back in 2020. And then we did our first series of three, the first three series. I divided into Americas, Asia, and Europe. It went very super well, by the way. So we're continuing that effort, bringing all leaders, business leaders, community leaders to discuss this and then have a call to action together collectively. So I hope this will bring a light to you with the goal that lead with facts, encouraging dialogue, not monologue, and most importantly, focus on what we can do together collectively to create a sustainable future. And that is my personal goal. And hopefully that, you join us, and I'm inviting each one of you who's listening and have something to say on this topic, on sustainability, on leadership together, that we can do this collectively. So the role of leadership in sustainability leadership is about more than guiding teams or achieving milestone, right? It's about foresight. It's about anticipating risks and preparing for them. Climate change, whether through rising sea levels, extreme weather events, or even shifts in global supply chains, as we saw that briefly, right, last year in 2023, present real risk to businesses, communities, and economies, I should say, with my little accent there. As leaders, we must ask ourselves this very question: are we prepared to adapt? And how can we innovate to keep thriving, or just thriving in a changing world, a rapidly change all the time, because constant is change, as we already know that and agree on. So strategic sustainable risk, turning challenges into opportunities. This is where strategic sustainable risk comes into play, a concept I often emphasize. By integrating sustainability into our decision making, we not only mitigate risks, but also uncover opportunities. For example, investing in renewable energy, or adopting circular economy practices can reduce costs. I think we signed up on this, right? We can sign up. We all have, yes, there are some skepticism, but I think majority of us would agree on this. Enhance resilience and open new markets. Companies leading in sustainability are already seeing the benefits, from increased investor confidence to stronger brand loyalty. We're talking about sustainability and longevity. That's what we want, right? So here's some real world examples of climate leadership. Let's ground this discussion with some current real life example of climate leadership. We're just seeing this in 2023. For example, California's shift to EVs. California's mandate requiring all new vehicle sales to be electric or plug-in hybrids by 2035 spurred innovation in the automotive industry. Major companies like Ford, GM are ramping up EV production, creating jobs and reducing emission. Now, I know this is a mandate, but I personally not really into this. Okay, I'm just going to say that. But this is just a real-world example of climate leadership. Whether you agree or disagree, I think, we have to respect each other's opinions and each other's views, right? Pakistan's climate-induced floods 2022. Pakistan experiences devastating floods, natural disasters, displacing millions and causing billions in damages. In response, global organizations and local governments are investing in resilient infrastructure, emphasizing the need for proactive climate adaptation. The EU Green Deal, the European Union, continues to lead with its Green Deal, aiming for carbon neutrality by 2050. Initiatives include massive investments in renewable energy, energy-efficient building renovations, and sustainable agriculture practices. All right, so this is the list, basically, that I'm presenting and offering to you. Doesn't mean that I agree or disagree, but this is who are leading. Who are the, who's who basically on the climate leadership. This is just some examples, right? Taking you around the world. Apple 2030 carbon neutral goal. Apple is on track to make its entire supply chain and products carbon neutral by 2030. If you have heard this, Apple 2030 carbon neutral goal. And this would include sourcing 100% recycled materials for their devices and transitioning to clean energy for manufacturing. I think that's smart, really smart. So what you can do as a leader, you don't need to be a global corporation or a city planner to make a difference, and that is a true statement. Leadership starts with small, deliberate actions. And I can offer you these three ways you can lead in your sphere, wherever you are in your career life, right? First, or anywhere, even you're a student and starting this sort of journey, sustainability or environmental journey. Educate yourself and others. Stay informed about climate issues and share your knowledge with your teams and communities. And always fact check and due diligence. Use credible sources and highlight solutions over problems. And I want to also say this: adopt sustainable practices yourself. Whether it is reducing energy consumption in your office or implementing a recycling program, every step counts. Now, I know I'm a recycling person. There's so much. I live in California, and I think recycling and all of this, what do you call this? You take them to recycle, and then, the political thing side of it, I think it's pointless. And recycle itself is pointless. But I think we have to hold ourselves accountable to sustainable practices. Okay, the next one, I have a lot to say on that topic, by the way. I think it's another topic episode by itself. And I think I made some podcasts already on that pollution things, but I think I need to say more and invite some experts and thought leaders on that particular topic to talk about and then present it to you guys. Okay, the next one is advocate for change. Use your voice, use your influence to advocate for policies and practices that support sustainability, both within your circle, your organization, your businesses, and your broader community. All right. I think those are the top three that I want to present to you guys and share with you guys. Remember, leadership isn't just about knowing the way. It's about showing the way. I like that a lot. And it's not also having all of the answers and still learning what are the answers and how to get there. So leadership isn't just about knowing the way. It's about showing the way and then doing it together. All right. Leadership means having, here's a quote. Leadership means having the courage to address the inconvenient truths while inspiring others to act on the solutions. All right. So I promise you guys to make it quick, right? Here's my final thought. Taking a stand on climate change isn't easy. I know that speaking out on this issue might cost me some friendships or alienate certain audiences, but that's okay. Leadership isn't about pleasing everybody. I don't like sugarcoating things. It's about staying true to your values and doing what you know is right. So I grew up with a deep respect for the environment, inspired by my parents and their unwavering commitment to education, completely education to the highest, and community. This isn't just about professional mission for me. It's deeply personal. So I do believe that acknowledging man-made climate change and working towards solutions is not just our responsibility, but it's our opportunity to create a better future for generations to come. So to my listeners, let us continue this conversation, even when it's uncomfortable. Let's challenge ourselves and each other to think bigger and act bolder. Continue the conversation, even when it's not comfortable at all, because together we have the power to turn the tide and much more. Thank you for being part of this journey with me, you guys. Man-made climate change is a reality, but so is our ability to lead through it. So together we can turn challenges into opportunities, risks into resilience, and visions into action. So thank you for turning into this important conversation. If you are ready to take your sustainability leadership to the next level, visit our website, roadmaptosustainability.com, for resources, tools, and global roundtable events that you might want to sign up. Consider signing up if you know anybody who wants to sign up as as a panel speaker. Let us know. I'm inviting each one of you. So, excuse me, as always, let's lead with purpose, passion, and perseverance. Until next time. All right. Stay safe and stay sustainable. So if this episode resonated with you, you guys share it with your network. Let's keep this dialogue going. Don't forget to subscribe to Leadership365 on your favorite platform for more conversations that inspire and, of course, empowering bold leadership, right? See you next time. Thank you for joining me today in another great episode on Leadership365. If you found this discussion helpful, don't forget to subscribe, share it with others, leave a review. Yes, I'd love to hear your thoughts on how you're navigating leadership in crisis. Connect with us. Until next time, keep leading with purpose, keep improving, and remember, in every crisis, there's always an opportunity to lead. All right. Gracias por escuchar mi podcast hoy también. Gracias por pasar tiempo, for spending time with me, conmigo hoy. Terima kasih telah mendengarkan podcast saya hari ini, you guys. Until next time, signing off, Nicky Dare. Follow, and connect with me on LinkedIn, YouTube, on X also. Check out my published books on Amazon. Hope all of that can bring some values for you and your team. God bless. Signing off. All right. Thank you. Bye. All right. Here's some conversations that I find it very interesting and insightful and very relevant to the topic that we're talking about right now. And it could be very valuable to some of us that giving it more, in a different areas of, we didn't think that. And I go, okay, that makes sense. All right, guys, let's tuning in to these conversations. All right. Hope you enjoy it.
Face the wind. Raise one of your hands and point your finger. Okay, that's the direction a typical Santa Ana is going to be coming from. So anything that catches fire in the direction your finger is pointing is very much of concern to you, like a neighbor with a huge untrimmed eucalyptus tree, for example. And I basically, because a lot of the people, I'm getting some of the same people over and over, which means they don't understand. Okay, so there's an evacuation order in Bel Air. So I get a call from somebody in Northridge. Should we evacuate? So I said, sure, it's good practice. Go ahead and practice your evacuation. You don't have to go very far. In fact, just load up and go around the block, come back and park and unload. So to practice your evacuation, right? And like, why on earth would you evacuate Northridge when it has to do, unless you get a false alarm? But even so, you got to verify the alarm. You know how to do that, etc.
I'm sorry, but quick question. How far do you usually give advice to people within miles radius to your evacuation route? Meaning that, how far the distance reach? 3 miles, 5 miles, or just like 1 mile even?
It depends. It depends on what the deal is. Is it a high wind-driven fire? Is it a topography-driven fire? So, our ancient ancestors lived on Mars originally, only, and they explored the solar system. Well, Mars is smaller, so it doesn't have the gravitational attraction to hold on to its atmosphere. Mars's atmosphere escaped into space a long time ago. Mars used to have a magnetic field, but the core froze, and it didn't have as much iron. Once the core became not liquid like Earth, the gravitational field dissipated, and they've analyzed samples on Mars to determine, yes, it used to have a magnetic field.
It used to have? Okay.
So what happened is our ancient ancestors, realizing that Mars was doomed, moved to Venus.
Okay, but okay, all right. So,
well, wait a minute. There's a sequence here.
Okay, go ahead.
Do the whole sequence.
All right, finish it. Yeah.
You know how here we had the industrial evolution, we used fossil fuels, now we have global warming.
Yeah.
We could potentially, eventually, end up with a runaway greenhouse effect, which makes the planet virtually uninhabitable. Okay? Well, that's what our ancient ancestors did to Venus. Venus was habitable, but whatever they did caused a runaway greenhouse effect, following which they moved to Earth.
That's okay. All right. So you're explaining to me. Yeah, you're explaining to me the theory of it. All I knew when we started this conversation that Mars was habitable, right? And once upon a time.
Yeah, millions of years ago, Mars had. Well, they definitely know it had water because they found frozen ice at the poles. So, but it loses its atmosphere, its water, its oxygen. It loses all the lighter atmospheric elements get lost to outer space because Mars doesn't have the gravity to maintain it, to keep it, to the planet. I mean, Earth loses atmosphere too, but not nearly as much.
But what time frame are we talking about? Billions of years or just millions of years?
Hundreds of millions of years. I mean,
so billions. Okay.
The whole thing is 4 billion years old. So
okay.
Yeah, these are long time scales.
So the bigger question is, can it be habitable again, Mars, to be occupied by humans? Not just depending on water, but we're talking about the magnetic field. We're talking about, does it have enough iron to hold that gravity?
No, there's no way you're going to change, unless you put a black hole at the center of Mars, there's no way you're going to increase its gravity. It's just smaller and not as heavy as Earth. That's all there is to it. Venus is a lot closer to Earth in size and gravitational strength and magnetic field than Mars is. But Venus has a runaway greenhouse effect underway.
So, okay, what I'm hearing, Venus is a better option to live for humans, the next planet?
Oh, you can live anywhere. You can live on the moons of Saturn. It's just you're going to be in like little, be in your space.
In a bubble, in the space shuttle suit.
Yeah, you got to wear. Now they don't have to be, like outer spacesuits, but they got to protect you thermally and provide you, breathable air.
Well, but you know what I'm saying when I'm saying like, hey, can humans live? It is habitable. I'm talking about like the way that we live here with shorts on and tank tops and.
Absolutely not. And there's places on this. The planet Earth is going to already has places that are not really habitable for humans.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll increase with climate change.
Right.
And not because it'll become hot and dry necessarily. It'll be because it rains so much, it floods all the crops, so you can't grow any food to eat, so you might as well leave.
Yeah. Right. And then have our little mini individual greenhouses to survive and, to survive on a daily basis and everything. Now, let me ask you really quick. Yeah, let me ask you really quick before I forget. Do you think climate change is real or hoax?
Oh, it's absolutely 100% guaranteed to be real. And it's in our face right now with the intensity of these winds that just contributed to the spread of these fires.
Right.
Climates always change, okay?
Right, we know that, yes.
Forever. Climates.
Mother Nature, right.
Climates always change. A volcano erupt, it causes global winter. Climate always
That's
changes.
why we see geological changes is through the climate.
The shifting of the continents.
Shifted and everything, right.
Mountain chains that change the path of the atmospheric currents. They change the ocean currents over millions of years. Climate always changes. Now, what we're talking about here is global warming caused by humans burning fossil fuels.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So you're seeing right now what 1 degree average rise in temperature as a result of increased carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, which traps the heat. You're seeing the effects of that.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, 1% may seem like it's small, but it's in fact is a larger impact to the overall what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah. Most of the heat gets absorbed by the ocean. Water absorbs heat a lot better than air does, especially dry air. And so the oceans, when they absorb heat, it changes the pH. So if you get a chance, go search and watch the movie Soylent Green, Soylent, Soylent Green, with Charlton Heston. A great movie.
Mm-hmm. I think I've heard it before, but I haven't seen it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'll check it in.
So
I've been watching a lot of documentaries, but not lately. But during 2020, when we're all at home, stuck at home, I've been watching those documentaries with the British documentary gentleman, I forgot his name, but about our planet, about our solar system, and about sustainability, basically. And that's what really inspired me to talk about sustainability planet, basically. But anyway.
There's some things that will give you a chill, one of which is Soylent Green. And that came out, 30 years ago, a long time ago. Even back then, they were aware of it.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, it's overshadowed with a lot of profit maker and all of the facade artificial things.
Oh yeah, oil companies are highly profitable. They contribute to re-election campaigns.
Yeah, exactly.
Influence legislation by the people that got contributed to.
It's all about the money. Yep.
But when you lose 5,000 homes, okay, that's a wake-up call. I monitor NetStorm, and I would say probably at least 20% of the posts refer to recall of the current mayor of LA.
Jeez.
So people do wake up. It just takes something like this to
unfortunate disasters and crises always is a monitoring tool to wake up, to realize hey, wait a minute, we're going to the wrong direction right now. But a lot of us already know about it. It's just now the public, in fact, the whole world is watching. So, and I'm sorry to say, but it's a failed leadership. It starts from there. Misguided, misled.
It's globally as well. I mean, you've got similar examples. Pick any continent you want.
Yep.
Similar examples everywhere.
It's everywhere, and anyway.
Time for a reset.
Yep. Well, I just want to call in today to check in about the earthquake. There was a prediction that made by one of the.
I can do a Google search later if you have any more information.
Yeah.
Go ahead and email.
I'll text you. I'll text you the link and everything. But actually, my son who texted me all the way from Southeast Asia is like, "Did you hear about this, Mom?" He's like, "Oh, okay. Let me check it." And there was a 7.0, 7.1 that struck in Tibet, I think. Oh, wait, where was it again? I saw it somewhere this morning. I'll send you the link on that one too. I think I posted it. Did I post it yet in my YouTube? But yeah, anything that's very current events, I try to share it on my YouTube. But yeah, anyway, I want to check in with you about the earthquake thing. A lot of scientists that we know of, some of the namely one, we know that the earthquake cannot be predicted. It can happen.
There are precursors to earthquakes.
Yes.
Dr. Lucy Jones, if you go to her, the
website. Yep.
Yeah, her website. She explains the state-of-the-art of earthquake prediction, and it's pretty good. I mean, we got a long ways to go. Japan is the leader of earthquake prediction because they got all these sensors. Yep. And over the years, over multiple earthquakes, they figured out what the readings of the sensors are leading up to an earthquake.
And then plus they got the water also, right? So they're more susceptible. What was the right word for it? They're really vulnerable, first of all, but they're more keen to studying it because they got the tsunami warning and they got tsunami prone disasters, and they got the earthquake as well on a piece of island stretch.
It's a matter of life and death for them.
Yeah, exactly. So they make that a priority
they've gotten really good at it. Mm-hmm. And there's P waves and W waves. There's all these different indicators that happened before an earthquake, and they also figured that out, a similar nature before a volcanic eruption. There's similar preceding indicators. So you record those, you analyze them, you compile them, and then when an event occurs, then you go back in your data and say, oh, well, when this happens, eventually this will happen. Okay?
Right.
So that they're working backwards from their data after an event occurs, but they're getting really good at it.
But yeah, piggyback what you said. The Richter scale didn't come exist until like about 1930s, 1940s, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I have to check it out with the verified, facts on this. But it just came out recently, basically. So the 100 above years or million rather of data talking about that. The historically, the biggest earthquake, the largest earthquake, the most frequent, which geographic locations and everything, like Greece, for example, right? Or Central America got a hit one also. The 1800s, way back. You're right. They have to go back and some of this recording because back
But
then
they didn't have the sensors to have the data back then. Now we do.
now we do
So,
exactly.
going forward, I mean, you're not going to be able to predict it's going to happen at 10:31 tomorrow.
That's my point. Because
they're starting to launch. The helicopters are starting to launch again. There's 3 of them lifting off one after another.
Are you up in the valley?
Yeah, I'm just down the street. We clean up the street. We volunteer, clean up the sidewalks and debris and stuff like that. We do it 2 or 3 mornings per week. It's gets you outdoors and
Get some vitamin D.
Yeah, and you let the wind work with you.
That's vitamin D.
And I'm watching what direction they go to because it looks like the Palisades Brentwood fire. There's no smoke that I'm seeing from it. But it looks like that's the direction they're going to. So maybe they're putting out hot spots. Yeah,
if you go up in the valley, Simi Valley, Ronald Reagan Freeway, up there where the peak, Rocky Peak or whatever they call it.
I just went by there yesterday afternoon. I had to go to my leaf blower got stolen, so I had to go buy a new one. And then where I went and run out of hills, they were out of stock, but Simi Valley had 3 of them, so I went there. And the guy from and he put it on hold for me. So I get there, and the people at Simi Valley DIY, Do It Yourself Home Center.
Yeah.
Apparently, the guy had told him the story that we're out there doing community volunteer cleanup, and our leaf blower got stolen. So they gave me all the discounts.
Oh, that's good. But did you see the wildfire though? I mean, pick out from that around behind the mountains, behind the hills.
Where?
At Simi Valley, where you drive by the Ronald Reagan.
Oh no, that's all out. There's nothing there.
Oh really? Well, I drove through. What is it? 4 nights ago. There was after the first day, the second day it broke out, and then I drove through it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have it on my YouTube, I think. But yeah, it's anyway. I gotta get going because I have to go to the other side of the valley. I'm supposed to be there at 11, but they have another seminar at 1, so I'm going to try to catch the 1 o'clock one. I just checked the traffic. It's an hour and 30 minutes, I think, instead of 39 minutes. So, yeah. So I'm going to see what I can do if I'm still going to go, but I think I need to go. I want to go. I don't want to wait until tomorrow or something.
All right. Good luck to you on that. Give me a shout afterwards. And
I'll send you the link.
If I've got to pick up somebody at the Flyway, probably between 5 and 6 p.m. I feed cats at 4 p.m. And then she's coming in from Hawaii from between 5 and 6 p.m.
All right, Dave. Thank you so much. Okay, stay safe. Okay.
I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. Bye now.